Well, hello all. I took up wood carving totem poles. This was my first totem that I carved. And I took it up to memorialize things that I'd done with people I love. So here's a cup of coffee. Here's a tent for camping. Here's a hiking symbol. We got the stars. We've got beer bottle, drinking beer together. We've got an owl there and so on. And then, because there's a particular cat I like and I take for a walk, here was my first attempt at carving a cat. This is poplar wood. We live near a bushy area where they encourage you to take away the alien vegetation. So this is carved out of a poplar log. Here's what poplar logs look like. It's a fairly light, not too hard wood, and I wasn't that pleased with my first attempt at a cat. I thought I'd better study cats and just find out what cats actually look like. So this was my second attempt at a cat. Could be a dog. So you can see the ears, the face, the nose, the little mouth, the eyes. Then the little feet came together here. There's the leg. It looks a bit like a bunny leg. And here's the tail that goes around. I just need to perhaps end it off there. And then I had to carve just the eyes, put a little slit there, cut a bit down the nose. So I studied cats. There's a wonderful app that I will show you that helps you to study apps. I'll show it on my computer. So here it's called Sketchfab, and it enables you to move a cat around so you can see it sideways, front, on. Look, the size of the head compared to the body or the legs. Look how the legs, the front legs come together, little paws and so on. And sketchfab.com, and you just type the search for whatever animal you're studying. And then when I wanted to see the head of the cat, then I could see, okay, look, the head is slightly curved, then it comes straight down or curves inwards, then a flat nose. Look at those little cheeks. So you've got to carve out that area there. There's the mouth going around. There's the little chin. Look at the ears are more or less in the middle of the head. Then the head comes backwards. So you can look at it front on. And that enables you to just get the proportions. There's a little hollow there, so you're going to hollow that area out. You're going to hollow that area out. You're going to hollow there. Little nose, hollow it out a bit. Hollow the eyes, hollow there. Hollow this, especially at the very inside of the eye and so on. So just the ability to be able to rotate this cat around enables you to carve very well, I think. Helps the carving immensely. If you ever try carving wood with a chisel, wow, I don't like any carving without power tools. And I know I'm going to get into a bit of trouble saying this, and I say this with caution, but I use this angle grinder saw to cut the wood and to carve it. So you can carve the profile, cut out the pieces. This is flippin' dangerous. If you're a sort of person who dozes off or becomes unthoughtful in a process, you're going to lose some fingers. So I am just very cautious with this. I find it no problem for me to carve. We're just going to smooth this off. So I thought if you're at all interested and you can get yourself into an area where you can get a log I like poplar too because it tends not to crack very much when it dries. So I just went to the bush, cut down this log with my handsaw. So what I did was I studied cats, and so just looking at the side version of a cat. So the cat's got its ears, and the ears are like 1/3 of the way from the back of the cat, and then the back of the cat kind of goes down like this, and then the cat's got I study it's got like a curve here, then it drops by the eyes, then it's straight, then the nose, and then the little mouth, and then it curves down like that, and then you have this, and then you have its little feet here, and you have the leg. So then your eyes, so the nose kind of you carve out here. You're going to put a little mouthy thing there, and you're going to have to cut the eyes here of the cat, and so on. So what you do is you, looking at the diagram of the cat and deciding which way you want your log, you then trace the outline of your cat onto this log like this. And then it kind of goes all the way down to here. You decide where you want the bottom to be. There's also like a little bump by the chest here. There's a little bump there. And then the feet and the paws. So then the feet come here, and then it's got its little pawsy warsies, and then you've got a little leg here. And there's the back leg, and there's the front leg, and you might want to put the tail, and then you're going to know there's again, you're going to carve that away, you're going to put the eye around there. Okay, so you draw the cat from the side, then you draw the cat from the front, the same thing, at the same place. So, you know, you're going to have to know where the cat's head ends and the ears are, and there's the top of the head, and then you draw the cat from the front. So you're going to draw the ears, make sure you got leave enough space. You've got, so here will be your nose down there. It's almost like an hourglass. And actually, this cat's head should be a lot smaller. It should be half the size of the cat. So I probably would draw a much smaller cat in future. So you draw your cat out in both, and then the eyes come here. So you check where and so on. So and then you just cut out all the pieces of cat that you don't want. So there's going to be a whole area. What I like about this, so what I did was I would first draw it sideways on. I would just cut that all out first, and then redraw it on the front. Don't draw front and side, just draw the side first, then cut that out. So what I so like about this is it cuts, and I'll show you how it cuts a little bit. And then if you drag it like this along the wood, it also grinds off, just the pieces of wood chips just fly. And you just do this, and you just, wherever you want to create a hollow, you just drag it like that on the area that you want to hollow out, and then it just hollows it out. It's just like a tool that just shapes the thing. And then recently on one of these, it was Temu, I bought this little saw, and it comes with a whole collection of little blades like that. And for the really fine work, what you can do is you can put this into a hand drill, and then you can you can really grind away the finer details like the eyes and the nose with this tiny little saw, and you can use that in the areas where you want precision control. And so that was the way that that we managed to carve this little cat. And this is just my second attempt at totem pole making. The first attempt was really just to carve through the bark. Poplar's got a lovely bark, and we just made these little symbols on the bark that represented things that were of importance to us. And then we decided to actually carve out a proper cat, and then I didn't think that was the best we can do. You know, I never care about what the best I can do. I just do up to the point where I lose interest in it. And at this point here, I could sand it down, smooth it, oil it, whatever, but I lose interest at a certain point, and that's the point that I lost interest in my cat. And that is why I tend to have a lot of hobbies, because I lose interest in them so quickly. But if you're at all interested in the hobby of wood carving, I would recommend this highly. So go to this app that I'll show you now, where you can look at the cat, you can rotate it in all directions, you can study it, and you can see, okay, so if you're drawing it from the side on, profile, you know how exactly to draw the cat. And then when you turn it front on, then you see the shape of the cat from the front, and you'll notice the proportions. Like, as I say, this cat's head is far too big. It should be like much smaller if you wanted accuracy, but I took some artistic license. I wanted a big head, and also if you've got a big head, there's less to cut away. So I took some artistic license. It could be a dog too. Dogs have bigger heads than cats. So yeah, I'll just show you the app of and I'll show you a little bit of how we use this angle grinder saw to cut things.